So a little bit of an update to pass on to you guys about the health of Paul Di'Anno. And if you're sitting there thinking, what the hell's wrong with Paul Di'Anno? You avoided the news yesterday. There was definitely a lot that was made of a report that was given to a Chilean website last Friday by Blaze Bayley, who was also a former Iron Maiden lead singer, just like Paul Di'Anno. The two are actually quite close. They toured the world together at some points, so this is not any sort of rivalry that is now culminating in, oh, he's got cancer gags, because that's just stupid, childish, and really kind of wrong. This is based off of information from potentially earlier this year, is what this article is eventually getting to. But Di'Anno does have, or they did find something. It's just not cancerous, but still scary. So let's take a look at what we got here. Rumors about Di'Anno's health status spread like wildfire yesterday after his friend and fellow former Maiden singer Blaze Bayley told Chile's Humo Negro website last Friday that Paul was battling cancer, but Di'Anno insists that this is not the case. Di'Anno tells Classic Rock, "I collapsed at home after coming back from Argentina, and a scan found a massive big black shadow on my lungs. Thought I was on my way out, but it turned out to be non-malignant." So that's good news. It was an abscess. Not as good news. That was all infected and the size of a rugby ball. It turns out I've been living with this thing in me for the last few years. Now, I know a lot of you are international and know of what a rugby ball looks like because it is a sport that you are familiar with. But for those who perhaps don't have rugby as a sport or are not a sports ball person, a rugby ball is about that size. Now imagine that in your lungs. Not exactly the most pleasant of phenomena, and not exactly the best of thoughts. The doctor said that it was an airborne thing that caused the infection, and I could have picked it up anywhere. Also kind of scary. Do you want a rugby ball in your lung? Just come to this random area. We don't know where. You might just walk right through it and end up with sports equipment inside your chest. It's fantastic. I had to go into recovery after the operation, and rather than go back to my home in Sao Paulo, Brazil, I stayed here in England, and I am now in a care home. Those last two words kind of cracked me up, and it's so wrong for it to do that, but it always takes me back to that Jim Breuer sketch about what heavy metal fans are going to look like whenever they go into retirement homes or nursing homes, how they're going to start mosh pits with their wheelchairs and everything, basically telling the nurses not to turn down the Metallica or whatever. Pretty good sketch. It always kind of cracks me up, and I'm trying to envision and imagine heavy metal, fans, not to mention heavy metal singers or performers in these homes, and that's just making it even funnier because I can see like wheelchairs being decked out with like denim, and you have to have your battle jacket that's on the back of your freaking wheelchair, either that or you're trying to start like a geriatric band or a group, talent, the talent show comes up and you have to cover Living After Midnight and, act like you're still an 85-year-old rebel, even though your teeth are probably gone and your dentures are kind of falling out too because you didn't use enough Fixodent. I'm getting way off course here. It's really good to hear that Paul Di'Anno does not have cancer, considering the guy has gone through really enough whenever it comes to his health. He's currently really unable to stand whenever he is on tour because of a problem with his knee, and he's sort of been confined to a wheelchair, and he has the potential, or he's going to be getting surgery within the next couple of months to hopefully repair that. He's excited about that, considering it means the first chance of being pain-free in more than 7 years. And I hate to swirl it around into a little bit of personal shit, but I have some bad knees, and I'm going to be talking about that in a future video regarding getting things off of my chest. And that element and that thought about being pain-free whenever it's a hinge joint that you use all the time, even if it is just while sitting down, man, that's just such a fantastic, thought. It provides you with a lot of hope, and I wish the best for him on that, because it's not easy to deal with. And the fact that he has to perform sitting down, I'm sure that he doesn't totally mind. He believes that the fans are there to hear him sing, not necessarily to see him. But I'm sure he would love to be able to move around a little bit and, interact a lot more, because Paul has always seemed like more of an interaction style performer as opposed to it just being based off of the strength of his voice. He also says that I'm getting a lot of physiotherapy on my left knee, so they can try to get me back on my walking sticks again. I've already had the other knee replaced, and once this one is done, I will be fine. So, best of luck to Paul Di'Anno. Hopefully that all of these health issues get under control. Hopefully that this was caught early, which means that he will make a full recovery, that this is not something that is permanently concerning for the gentleman. But for right now, let's just hope for the best for Paul Di'Anno. What are some of your favorite Di'Anno moments? Have you been tracking any of his solo career? Because I have not tracked a lot of his solo career. And that's just a pure-blown confession right there, and I feel like a bad metalhead for not doing so. What are some of your favorite Di'Anno songs off of Iron Maiden discs? What are your thoughts about Paul? Let me know in the comments below. Coverkillernation. I'll talk to you guys next time. Take care.